Hello everybody, good morning and welcome to the United Stand. I hope you're all doing well this Friday morning. Weekend is almost here and it's a big few days for Manchester United. Ole Gunnar Solskjaer's press conference is coming up at 1:30 today, but we do have a lot of news to discuss this morning. Ed Woodward has spoken about Solskjaer, transfer plans. Villa have spoken about Grealish. Lots and lots to get through this morning. Make sure you download the Flick app. They sponsor our morning show. This is where you can chat Manchester United with the United Stand community 24/7. It's free to download on Apple and Android. We've got daily polls on there and everything else. So make sure you download that and get involved. But let's get straight into this. 14 days ago, this is look, Jack Grealish, let me just say, Manchester United have shelved plans to sign him. Aston Villa are coming out and saying that they want £100 million for Jack Grealish. If he was worth 60 or 70 in the summer, he's definitely worth more now. They want a British transfer record for Jack Grealish, and Manchester United have other irons in the fire. So that will be the end of that, which is a bit of a shame to some, but maybe we can talk about that a little bit more in the show later on. But this is coming out from, I think it was the Times or the Telegraph. And to be honest with you, he's just signed a lucrative new contract. He's playing better this season than he did last, and he was very good last season. So, how are we going to do a deal with like that? But of more substantial news, and this is, to me, if you're Ollie out, this is where you should be focusing a lot of your frustration about Manchester United over the last 7 years, which predates Ollie's last 2 years. And this should be aimed at the board. On the 20th of November, there was a meeting via Zoom by Ed Woodward with a fans forum. Who's on this fans forum? 2 weeks ago, there was a meeting, and he does this quite regularly. I think he does this a couple of times a year. So Ed Woodward, the man we would love to talk to, I'm not talking about United Stand, I mean in general, proper Manchester United fans would love to talk to, has a meeting 2 weeks ago on Zoom with a fan forum, and I'm only reading about it today. Like, who's on this fans forum? I mean, they're so silent, they may as well be dead. Like, what fan forum is this then? I mean, hold on a minute, without being arrogant, this community that we've got is one of the biggest Manchester United fan forums in the world. And yet, people like ourselves, and I'm not just talking about United Stand, there are other fan channels, there are other websites, there are other big, massive traditional forums out there. Are they invited to be part of a fan forum? It shouldn't be called a fan forum. It's not a fan forum if it's exclusive to people like Must and maybe, the Red Army and people like that. That's not a fan forum. That's an elitism fan forum. Like, a fan forum should have everybody involved in it. Every area. This is what democracy is. This is what society is. This is what diversity is. You can't say, we like that fan forum, but they're a bit loud, we're not letting them in. That's not, in the world that we live in now, then the United Stand should be part of it. Of course it should. You know why it's probably not part of it? Because I would sit there on that Zoom call, and when he said, we delivered what we wanted to deliver in the transfer window last summer, I would say, hold on a minute, you didn't deliver what you did. I mean, did anybody put their hand up in that Zoom meeting with Ed Woodward when he said, and he did say, that we delivered what we wanted to deliver in the summer transfer window, and we've had a net spend of 200 million since 2019. I would have been like, I'm not even putting my hand up. I would have been in and said, hold on a minute. You delivered what you wanted to deliver in the summer. That's interesting, isn't it? So everything you did around Jadon Sancho for 3 months, that was just for a bit of a laugh, was it? You didn't deliver that. Cavani is a good signing, but was clearly desperate because he went into isolation for 2 weeks, which shows that you didn't plan to do that deal. Don't bullshit us, Ed. Like, I'm fed up of this. A fan forum 2 weeks ago, we're getting the story about it now, and it's bullshit, as per usual. So if you're angry this morning and you're thinking about being Ole Gunnar Solskjaer out, then maybe you should be thinking about these prats that run our football club who just get away with feeding information out to fan forums that we don't hear about for 2 bloody weeks. This is where the problem is, the lowering of the bar. And look, I'll give you the sound bites of what Ed Woodward basically said in that fan forum, that they've seen some real positivity on the pitch and in the training ground, and this proves that they're right it reinforces their belief that Solskjaer and his coaching staff are the right people to take Manchester United forward. So they've seen positivity, and that reinforces their belief that they've got the right coaching setup. That they're focused on the summer transfer window as always, and obviously the £200 million net spend, and that they delivered what they wanted to deliver in a difficult transfer market in the summer. And it's the lowering of the bar. It's basically what I take away from those sound bites. And of course, I wasn't part of that meeting. You weren't part of that meeting. So we don't actually know what went on in that meeting. But what I take away from that is, what's everyone moaning about? Everything's fine. We're really happy with our coaching. We're delivering on the pitch. We're delivering in the transfer window. Everything's fine and we're heading in the right direction. I mean, bloody hell. Is that what Manchester United are now? We are happy. We are positive. We are going in the right direction. And yet we're nowhere near winning trophies or a title again. So 7 years ago, we were one of the biggest clubs in Europe. We were winning titles. We'd done it for the last 30 years. That was the standard of Manchester United. The standard now, as delivered to you by Ed Woodward and the people who employ him, is we delivered what we needed to deliver in the summer. We're heading in the right direction and we're very positive with what's going on. And look, I'll tell you what, I want Ollie to succeed, and I'm not Ollie out, as you know, but I hope he's the right man. I don't believe he's the right man. What terrifies me is that the people who are making the decisions at our football club, they believe they've made the right decisions. And I'm telling you now, if you believe we're in the right pair of hands at Manchester United, you're deluded. You're deluded, because I want Solskjaer to succeed. I want this team to succeed. But only an idiot would believe it will, because there's no evidence to say that it will happen. It's pure hope. Yet our board believe it's going to happen. And I'm not slating the players or Ollie here, because I think they themselves, if you sat them down, wouldn't sit there and say we're going to win the league, the Champions League, or any cup in the next year. They don't know. They hope it's going to happen, like we all do. But our board genuinely, by the sounds of it, sit there and think they're doing a great job and we're on the right track. And that's terrifying. It's terrifying that the people who make the decisions believe their decisions are good decisions. And I've heard this so many times about Ed Woodward and co, that they actually do believe they're doing a good job. They do believe that they deliver in the transfer window. They do believe that their negotiation skills are very, very good. And they actually do believe that you lot are just, hysterical football fans who don't know what you're on about. That's the terrifying thing about Manchester United. And you know what? I don't even care if I'm part of that fan forum. I just love somebody to be part of it who actually has the same opinions as all you lot and every other bloody fan channel, every other website, that actually would put their hand up and say, hold on a minute, I don't get privileged season tickets or anything like that. We're just fans. The way this club's being run and has been run for the last 7 years is a joke. And you can talk about you've spent £200 million net spend in the last couple of years, but net spends belong in the bloody ocean catching fish, because the whole point about a net is it's got holes in it. Net spend is bullshit. £200 million net spend. I don't know where he's got that from. £200 million net spend, because ultimately we know that how much money you've borrowed, how much money's coming out of the club from profits and everything like that. So, you could, when there's so much money coming into United and there's so much money going out to United in dividends and loan deals and everything like that, and loans from the bank, it's very easy to manipulate numbers. The reality is, I don't really care. We've spent £1 billion since Sir Alex Ferguson retired. It's not really how much you spend, it's what you do with it. So just because I just think that even if we had spent, let's say we'd spent £200 million last summer, it's how you spend it. So much of what we've done over the last 7 years is bad recruitment of players, cheap selling of players, not being able to sell players, giving stupid contract to crap players, employing crap managers and sacking them. The whole raft of bad decision making has been made by the same people that have still been there since the day Sir Alex Ferguson retired. And yet we're meant to sit here and be positive about bullshit that comes out of the mouths of the same people who don't face up to their own accountability. And this is what frustrates me the most. It's that we have to take sound bites from the people that have delivered this shower of shit for the last 7 years, but firmly believe that they know what they're on about. There's no accountability in that football club. And it annoys me because if we don't win tomorrow, we will have Ollie out from the press, from some fans. We lost on Wednesday night. Ollie out. But then this morning, we get updates from our chief executive, which will be via our owners. And people are like, I wonder if we're going to win tomorrow. This is the most important news. This is the people who sack Ollie and employ Ollie, and sack Mourinho and employ Mourinho, who buy players and sell players, who give contracts out. These are the people that actually fundamentally control our club. And I think it's a joke. I think the way that Manchester United run themselves is archaic and insular, and there's no accountability. And that's not a fan forum when somebody of Ed Woodward's power can sit there and come out with the stuff he's come out with, and nobody says anything back. Like, he needs to be held accountable. He's the chief executive of Manchester United Football Club. This football club, does he even support this football club? Do the Glazers support this football club? This football club was around a long time before they came along. Where's the accountability? How are you having? Who's on the fans forum? Can we get the names of the people who are on that fans forum? Who do they represent? What do they represent? What did they say? Did they just sit there and nod their heads? What's going on with this football club? How can our chief executive be in a fan forum 2 weeks ago coming out with that nonsense, and it just goes out into the press 2 weeks later and there's no accountability about it? It's nonsense and it's frustrating. And you lot can get angry about Ollie and Ollie's tactics, but I'm telling you now, he's just the restaurant owner. He's just the restaurant manager. There's an owner there. They're providing the ingredients. They're providing the decision making, and I'm just very, very frustrated by it this morning. Who do you think United should buy in CDM realistically? Says Rahul. I couldn't give two shits at the moment, Rahul. To be honest with you, I couldn't give two shits about it because ultimately, I think this is it. The Glazers prosper because we, as a fan base, are so reactionary, living in the moment. We've got to look at the bigger picture here. And Manchester United Football Club need to listen to the bigger picture. Stop thinking football fans are hysterical. They're not hysterical. They're passionate and they love the club more than you. And that's the issue here. You're business people driving business agendas. You want that meeting to come out this morning and you want your soundbite to be, we're delivering in the transfer window, we're heading in the right direction, and Ollie's the right man and we picked him. That's what they want the soundbites to be this morning. And many of you will swallow that soundbite because that's what they want. And the best bit about it is Ed Woodward spoke to the fans about it. And that's the soundbite as well. We're spending in the market correctly. We're heading in the right direction. Ollie and his coaching staff are the right people. And we've spoken to the fans about this. And they agree. But who's the bloody fans you've spoken to? Like, who is it? And that's the soundbite. Because you know what? They don't want to talk to real fans. They don't want to talk to fans that are actually going to give them a proper conversation. Not rants, not rage, just a proper conversation. They don't want to do that because they want to control the conversation all the time. But what they don't realise is they've got more leaks than a sieve, which is why the Pochettino talks came out and undermined. They undermined. Let's not forget, it was Manchester United Football Club that undermined the manager that they're positive about and feel reinforced about. So I just think we need a reset at Manchester United from top to bottom. They're not engaged with the people that matter, which is you. And they don't respect you and your opinions. They think you're hysterical and they think they're doing a good job. Well, who's the hysterical person? Who's the naive person if they think the last 7 years is a good job? If they think lowering expectations to fighting for fifth is a good job? If they think never winning trophies is a good job? If they think being embarrassed summer after summer in the transfer window is a good job? You know, if they think not having a director of football is a good job, they're not doing a good job. So stop putting sound bites out that you're doing a good job because nobody thinks you are doing a good job. Not Manchester United fans, not Juventus fans, not Liverpool fans. Everybody thinks in the football world that you're a joke. Agents, the media, you know, you've got to have a reset. It's not raging, it's not criticism, it's constructive. Because I tell you what, I don't want Ed Woodward and the Glazers to fail. I want them to be successful. I'm sure Manchester City fans didn't really want oil money coming into their club. They probably wanted it done the different way. But those people have come in and they've run their club very professionally. That's what I want, and that's what you want. It's not about... For me, it's not about Glazers out or Woodward out. It's about Glazers do your job properly, Ed Woodward do your job properly, instead of treating us like fools. Maybe take on the criticism of the fans, because the criticism is coming from a place of passion and love and wanting to be the best club in the world. Your rhetoric and your soundbite is coming from a place of wanting to line your pockets. Who's right then? Football fans of this football club who want us to be the best football club in the world, or our owners who want to make the most money out of us as they can? We know who's coming from the right position, and they should listen to that right position. But whether they ever will, I don't know. Robert Brennan says they know Ollie is a yes man, and that's why they are happy they can say what they want. I'm just, you know what, I woke up this morning, there's a lot of things to talk about that we still need to talk about. I was in a good place, and then I read that and I was like, what? WTF, what is going on? A fan forum 2 weeks ago. Well, I tell you what, I'll guarantee if if Flex had been on that fan forum 2 weeks ago, within 2 minutes of being in that fan forum, you would have got the gist of what had been said via tweets or a video or something like that. 2 weeks, and we're hearing about it now. It's not a fan. I'm sorry, it's not a fan forum. And the people on that fan forum will say, "Shut up! I've been going for 50 years, whatever." Well done. It's not a fan forum because you're not delivering the information efficiently. Are you asking the right questions? Is it diverse, or is it just select people that we talk to, that we've been talking to for years? The club needs to diversify. It does. It acts like it already has, but it doesn't. It doesn't. It closes doors off to certain people. You know, it gets rid of people that it doesn't really, that don't fall into line of their commercial drive. But what they don't appreciate is that those fans that are vocal would actually improve that football club if they listen to them, because they're coming from a place of wanting that football club to be successful, but they don't want to do that because they want to do things their way. They want that. This is the way we're doing it. We're not listening to that, and it's tiresome and it's frustrating because this club is sinking, and the fact that they don't see that, it's literally like being the captain of the Titanic as it goes down, saying, "I'm sure it's going to be fine. The AA will turn up very, very soon." As they stand there drinking their tea and cold water, envelops them, and that's very much what we're like. Stubbornness, arrogance. The people running our football club are stubborn and arrogant and very self-absorbent. Unfortunately, you're not going to soak up enough water to stop you sinking. So it's a very sad, frustrating situation at Manchester United, and it massively predates Ole Gunnar Solskjaer. This has been going on for over a decade, but it's not getting any better. And I don't like these sound bites where our chief executive is coming out basically telling us, "Relax, it's fine. I've delivered in the transfer market. We're heading in the right direction. Everything looks good." No, it doesn't. I hope we do well. But reality is, everything suggests we won't be doing well, because even if Ollie is the man, and I want him to be the man, he's not been delivered what he needs to be delivered. There's so many facets to this. We won't be winning titles because we have the manager, any manager, Mourinho, Van Gaal, Ollie, they haven't been given the tools to do it. So they'll never deliver their title anyway. Anyway, let's move on. Cavani ban, says Asher. I don't know. I mean, that's a very good point. We know nothing about what's happening with Cavani. I don't know. I mean, maybe Ole Gunnar Solskjaer's press conference at 1:30. We'll be live for the reaction to that. I mean, the FA are another archaic, arrogant organisation that needs to diversify massively. I was listening to Gary Neville on some political show the other day. I think it was this morning or something, which isn't political. The FA is old and archaic. Cavani did that Instagram post on Sunday night. It's now Friday. It's 5 days later. Like, what are you waiting to do? Like, what if they ban him today? Like, we're all doing predicted teams play Cavani. What if they ban Cavani today? Why could they have not done it on Tuesday? Why could they have not done it on Thursday? In the world we live in at the moment, where you've had things like Black Lives Matter and massive protests around that, and all the good that's come out of that, and yet the FA have a potential incident that could incite could cause people harassment, whatever, and could cause other people, to be frustrated if he gets banned. Why have they sat on that? Because they're slow. They're slow. That should have been sorted out very, very quickly. One way or the other. Sort it out quickly and then people can get on with their lives. But we're still sat here going, is he going to get a ban? What games is he going to miss? Website says forum includes reps from MUDSA, season ticket holders, MUFC, exec club members, family stand, local fans and aged over 65. Yeah, Nitin, I mean, that's just... That's a select few. That'll be this. I mean, look, I've got no problem with those people being on the fan forum, but it's not enough. It's not enough. Like, why can't there be people under 18? Why can't it be diversified? Why can't there be a supporters group from India? Why can't there be a supporters group representative from America? Why can't there be a United Stand representative? Why can't there be a Red Cafe from the forum representative? It should be diverse. That's just people who are at the ground. That is bullshit. It's absolute bullshit. In the modern world, that's not diversification. Ollie doesn't get the tactics wrong, in my opinion. It's the small mistakes like the subs in the PSG game that cost us at the elite level, says Ronak. Loving the last video you said, get rid of Fred if he can't be trusted not to get a red card. Guess you would have sold Keane then, says Dane Sumner. Mate, I think you've totally and utterly took my comment there and turned it into a £5 super chat, so thank you very much. But I didn't. What I said is, if a player, what I said is, and you should be sticking up for me here because I know where you're going. I said is, Fred shouldn't need to be substituted because he's on a yellow card. And KG and Flex were saying they would have took him off. And I said, well, if you can't trust him on a yellow card, sell him. If you can't trust the player to not get a second yellow card, he's no good to Manchester United. But I do trust Fred. That's the whole point. I think a professional footballer can be trusted. He was on a yellow card. He got sent off because he shouldn't have got a second yellow card. So I wouldn't have took Fred off until the 60th minute, and he wouldn't have got sent off then, would he? Anyway, so I'm not saying to sell Fred. So comparing him to one of my favourite players ever is silly, really, because I don't believe a footballer should be substituted because he's on a yellow card. My mentality is I'd rather see us go out to win and potentially lose rather than go out not to lose and maybe scrape a win. What's yours? Same as you, Joshua Bowwater. Why are we having to go at the Glazers? 80 million for Maguire is a steal, says Kit Erland. Yeah, and we can't trust Fred on a yellow though, says Anthony Muller. Well, I think of course we can trust him on a bloody yellow. He got his second yellow wasn't a yellow card. It was unlucky. He should have got a red card for the headbutt. That's it. Does he go around headbutting people every game? No. Does he pick up a lot of yellow cards? Yes. Has he had loads of yellow cards and played on before? Yes. The evidence is there. It's just one of them things. I think people are getting absolutely, in my opinion, I think people are going over the top about the Fred thing. Like, I've heard Michael Owen saying he shouldn't play for United again. What a load of nonsense. You never should have played for Manchester United, Michael Owen. You scored one goal in a Manchester derby and you think you're it. Even Liverpool fans don't want you back. We certainly don't. You talk nonsense, mate. Kick a player out of the club because he got a bloody red card. What a load of crap. But what I would say is that if Ole Gunnar Solskjaer had got his subs right, and this was only one factor, if Martial scores his chance, if Ole makes his subs earlier, and we defend a bit better, we win that game. And they're three very easy things to solve. We just need to learn. We need to learn. But Fred should not have been subbed at half-time. The first 15 minutes after half-time, we played brilliantly well and we should have gone 3-1 up. On the 60-minute mark, he should have had his subs ready because that's the time to do it. And he didn't. And Fred played till 71 minutes and got sent off. He shouldn't have been on that pitch. He should not have been on the pitch after 65 minutes. Well, there goes my morning go on Ollie. Park the bus on Saturday now. Ed has given you the okay. I really hope we can get a buyer to buy out the club, says Fabian. And welcome to the members club, Brendan Callagher. We've got a question for the members coming up on the community tab after this, so make sure that if you are a member, you check that out. What is the point to have transfer player list if the board decide on the way? Something big must happen to be changed, says Irfan Hazik. Well, let's go through the morning news. I mean, the morning news has been about this bloody Ed Woodward statement, so please smash a like on the video if you're watching. But let me just go through. There's quite a few things to go here. So Grealish, 100 million price tag. According to some British press, his price has gone up. He obviously signed a new contract. Fred just has a great mentality, never backs down, says Kit Erland. There's talk of Manchester United. What Why would the people who know about the channel ring me when I'm on the bloody channel? And it's not Flex for a change. Absolutely pisses me off. It's Ed Woodward who wants me on the fan forum. I'm only joking. We remember we were talking a couple of days ago about this Brexit rule that means English clubs will not be able to buy players under 18 anymore. So the likes of Tahith Chong, Paul Pogba when we got him in from France at 14, Mabry and people like that, we won't be able to sign them anymore because the new Brexit rules that are coming into the UK mean that you can't buy players under 18. And we've done a lot of that. There's a way around this, and Athletic have sort of spoken about it yesterday, saying that Manchester United may partner with clubs in Europe so that those clubs can bring in the players and then they end up coming to United when they're 18, 19. I said this a couple of days ago. There's always a way. It was actually Michael Owen ringing, you're right. Imagine, that'd be a boring conversation. Anyway, do buy his autobiography for Christmas, though. If you're suffering with insomnia, you'll be asleep after a paragraph. But good old Michael. If you want to come on the show, Michael, you're more than welcome. So this would be a good way around it to help us buy those younger players that we have been doing for the last 5 years. So if we linked up with a club like, I don't know, a Belgian club, and then we recruited the younger players and they took them on, and we funded that club by investing in their training, then those younger players from Europe could go there, and then if they're good enough they come to us. So there's always going to be a way around. I didn't think it would take long for that to happen. Dipak says Fred's situation shows how to much extent Ollie trusts his favourite players. The reason why Van der Beek is on the bench is because Ollie has too much faith in McFred. 100%. I'm very worried tomorrow about whether he'll pick Fred, but Van der Beek. What do you think will happen if we lose to David Moyes? Surely we won't lose tomorrow, right, Mark? Hope FC, says Sharath Kamath Fitness. Look, I'm positive. I think we'll win tomorrow. I think every time people start thinking we're going to lose, we do tend to win. What Fred should have done is control the ball, and when he didn't, he shouldn't have thrown himself into a rash challenge on a yellow. That's all, says Sean Finity. Look, Fred got sent off because of a bad first touch, but to be fair to him, he got the ball. It wasn't a second yellow card. Therefore, I think the blame on Fred is somewhat redundant. Fred should not have got a second yellow card. He should have got sent off for the handball, for the headbutt, but I think Paredes should have been sent off for diving as well, and that needs stamping out the game as much as the headbutting. But and we call it a headbutt. It's not even a bloody headbutt. It's pushing your head forward when someone puts their head on you, and Paredes put his head on him. He's just petulant, really. But he shouldn't have been sent off. I'll be back in a moment, actually. Very important, this. I've got a delivery coming in. It could be really good. Let's see what it is. On the way. Sorry. It's not even for me. I thought it was for like my wrinkle cream and my Just for Men. I'm not happy about that. I just have to go gracefully. Anyway, I'm back in the room now. I think on Fred at the end of the day, his sending off was more about not subbing him off before he got sent off, because the sending off with the second yellow was a bit silly. In other news, Manchester Evening News yesterday were talking about Hakan Çalhanoğlu. Now, this is quite interesting. I like this sort of thing. You know what I like about football? I like, and that's what we were talking about a few minutes ago. And Manchester United, if they watch this video today, they'd be like, oh, that goal bridge, that United stand, they're just moaning, hysterical. We're not moaning. We're actually giving another side to the coin passionately. It's called a debate. And what I like about this Hakan Çalhanoğlu story is that you've got Christian Falk driving this, saying that Man United have spoken to his agent, and didn't he say there's a 90% chance that we're going to buy Hakan Çalhanoğlu? And then you've got Manchester Evening News saying there's no chance, that's not going to happen. So Manchester Evening News are quite well briefed from the club, as we know, with the Pochettino story. And then Christian Falk has been very accurate about transfers. So you have this interesting situation where you've got Christian Falk saying 90% chance, and you've got Manchester Evening News saying no chance. And I love it. So let's see what happens with Hakan Çalhanoğlu. As I said, I wouldn't mind us bringing him in. He's 27. If Mata goes in the summer, I think, you get a free replacement. Maybe this under-18 transfer rule is a small blessing in disguise. Woodward will start thinking about the club now rather than constantly making statements about planning for the future, says Vikram. He's a great free kick taker as well. Not Ed Woodward, Hakan Calhanoglu. ESPN on Pochettino are saying that there's a high likelihood that he'll go to PSG. He used to play there. I think he was the captain there. I don't know. I think that Pochettino could have been offered the PSG job as soon as next Wednesday. But PSG will be top of the French league very soon, if they're not already. And they're going to qualify for the knockout stage now. So they won't get rid of Tuchel before Christmas, which means PSG won't be getting Pochettino. So if you're a United fan wanting Poch, then that's still going to be open. Although Madrid could be a door there opening next week. Maldini came out yesterday saying Milan are working on renewing him, but they aren't in any hurry, says PMV Patrick. And I don't see why we need Grealish. Our main priorities are defender or CDM, says Tarek, which I agree with. Another story coming out, I read this in the Manchester Evening News, I think it was via Team Talk, that Manchester United are considering the Eric Bailly for Pau Torres transfer. We spoke about this a few days ago. It's too perfect for me. That's too perfect that we can get rid of Eric Bailly for someone like Pau Torres. But I mean, look, there was a bit of in the fan forum meeting that Ed Woodward had. He did reference summer transfer windows. So, are we already getting the nod that we're not going to do anything in January? Which I think is a joke, to be honest with you. I think this January transfer window is very important. It's not a normal January transfer window. So many games are being played. So much is at stake. So many injuries, so much tiredness. We should be looking to offload some deadwood and bring in a player or two in January. I think it's really important that we do. Calcio Mercato, which is an Italian outlet, talking about Sergio Ramos to Manchester United. This has been filtering around for the last few weeks. I mean, look, do you want Sergio Ramos in his mid-30s at Manchester United? He played as a fiddle a couple of years ago, didn't he? And signed a new contract at Madrid. It's not worked out badly for Chelsea with Thiago Silva and a 35 or 36-year-old. And arguably, I think Sergio Ramos is still one of the best centre-backs in the world. But I suspect that we are being used again here as a name to get him whatever deal he wants. And I think Sergio Ramos has got another contract in him. I don't think it's time for him to go to Saudi Arabia or China or the MLS. So it'd be interesting. But I think Sergio Ramos may end up where Ronaldo will end up next, which is maybe PSG, where the demands of the league are a little bit less. But you still do get to play Champions League football. And ESPN are also reporting that Barcelona are firing ahead on trying to get Ousmane Dembele to sign a new contract. This is a player that United were very close to bringing to the club in September. They wanted him on loan. It broke down, of course. I think it broke down on the last day of the transfer window, didn't it, in fact? I think we woke up on the morning still thinking that we could get Ousmane Dembele over. But he is out of contract in 18 months' time. So Barcelona try and do something about that. Welcome to the Members Club, Christopher Delagi. Please smash a like on the video. We're on 999 likes, which is an odd number, but there you go. And please subscribe to the channel if you're new. He's playing good at the moment, Dembele, says Pawan. I think the most important thing for me, I would say, about Ousmane Dembele is that he's not injured. He's been playing on and off football for 2 months and he's not injured, and that's the thing, isn't it? I mean, I can only have my own opinion, and when we were linked to Cavani and when we were linked to Dembele, I can only look at the facts. And over the last 18 months, the injury records of both of those players is horrific. It's not just one injury, it's like 2 or 3 injuries. Or, hamstrings with Dembele, muscle strains with Cavani. Touch wood, at the moment, I mean, more importantly, Cavani is playing a lot of football for us and looks very fit. I'll be stunned if he doesn't get injured, and if he does get injured, there will be an element of I told you so, but I'm hoping that's not going to happen. And if Ollie wraps him up in cotton wool and treats him right, we might be able to. I mean, the most important thing about Cavani is he's here for a good time, not a long time. So if he's going to be here for a year or he's going to be here for 2 years, you don't want 50% of that time to be injured. And that's basically what he's had for the last year. So the evidence is there with Cavani. You cannot play him every single game. Even though I think we all want to, we can't. Because it's all right saying let's play him against West Ham and Leipzig and then he gets injured, he can't play against Man City and he doesn't play till the new year. I'd rather he didn't play in one of those games and we get him and he stays available for the next 6 weeks, but we just don't play him in every game. And we're going to have to handle that. But with Dembele, if he can stay fit, he's 23. So I don't know. as I said on the show last night, and I loved the show last night. If you didn't see it, I actually cameoed on the Flex and KG show, which some people have been asking for, and it was good fun. We had like 9,000 watching on a Thursday night, which is unheard of. And I'm against the Sancho deal now. I know the club aren't. I know the club are still very much wanting Sancho, and I think Sancho would be a very exciting signing. But it shouldn't be our priority. The priority should be a centre-back and a centre defensive midfielder. And the money we're going to spend on Jadon Sancho, agent fees, wages, money to Dortmund, it's just not... It's just for... again, I go back to that Woodward statement. I go back to that fan forum. And I think, you know what? A really good question would be, and why could you not ask it of the chief executive? I'd love to have been on that fans forum, and I'm sure many of you would have been. I think they can appeal Cavani now. He's in tomorrow, says Robert McCormack. I think if you were on that fan forum, any of you lot, and you put your hand up, and Ed said, "What have you got to say?" and you said, "Why are we focusing on a signing like Jadon Sancho that's going to cost us upwards of £100 million when any decent run football club would focus on priority positions like centre back and CDM?" Because, and he would go, "Well, I don't want to comment about transfers." And you could easily say, well, hold on a minute. We know Manchester United were trying to sign a Sancho all last summer because it was coming out from the club that you were. So why do we continue to look at these Galactico signings that haven't worked in the past? And I'm not opposed to us signing Jadon Sancho, but he shouldn't be the priority. If you've got £100 million now, then you've got the situation to... If I give you £100 million, what are you going to spend it on? And I guarantee 90%, ironically, 90% club would be centre-back and CDM. I like Jadon Sancho, I do. I spent all summer talking about Jadon Sancho. But I wouldn't sign him at the moment because that £100 million, it's like, you know what it's like? It's like, there's been a flood in your area. Your whole downstairs, your living room, your kitchen, it's mouldy, it's horrible, and you've got money to fix it, but you go and redo your bathroom. You've got to solve the priorities before you do the luxuries. And I think Sancho, especially with Rashford playing off the right, Sancho has become a luxury player. You could still buy a right winger. You could get an Ousmane Dembele for half the price. You could get an Adama Traore for half the price. We shouldn't be looking for a luxury expensive right winger when we could use that money better elsewhere. But this is the way we're run as a football club. People are making decisions without thinking about the actual bigger issue, the priorities. Debate Mate UK says, "Great show, Mark. Looking forward to having the United stand against Gillan Balaguer on the Messi Ronaldo debate on Monday. Get in touch." Oh yes, I will have a look at the email, mate. No worries. And welcome to the members club, Pat. Thank you for joining. Okay, well look, we're back again in literally 3 hours' time. Ollie's press conference is at 1:30, so we'll be live at about 1:45 with all the updates on that. Smash a like on the video if you've watched us live, or if you're not watching live, make sure you subscribe if you're new. I'm just about to go and whack a question in for our community, our members, which is on the community tab. If you want to become a member, click the join button. You get your little badge next to your name. And you can continue the chat as always 24/7 on the Flick app. It's free. It's free to download on Apple and Android. The link's in the video description. There's daily polls, there's quizzes, there's a predictor game about all our fixtures, and there's general chat as well. I'll speak to you in a bit. Thanks for watching.